friends, it's Bernadette King. I am here with your Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading for Friday, September 25th, 2020. Friday! Are you so happy it's Friday? Yes, because y'all, this has been you see my hair is falling all over the place. I got a little bit of sweat here. Y'all, this has been a big week. Every card that's been pulled earlier this week has been big and powerful and crazy, crazy, crazy for that day. And today is no exception. Why? Oh, the back of the card. See? That's how crazy this week has been. It's the Judgment card, the Whale card. And this is the second major arcana card that's come out this week for the Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading. And it's interesting because Fridays are the throat chakra days. That's the blue chakra. The planetary influence is Venus, and that's all about love, true love. And it just seems, Pete, you're getting ready for the weekend and maybe family night, date night, Fridays. So what the heck is the Judgment card have to do with this and whales? Because that's really big energy and seemingly a little bit incongruous for, what Friday energies are all about. But it's really not. It's just asking you to take really a deep dive into the emotions, the water energy, because there might be some really big stuff going on within loves of whatever kinds within your life. So let's get right to it. And as you guys know, if you know, then you do. If you don't, if you're just joining me, I use my own award-winning Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck for the daily readings. And that is based on the Rider Waite system, the Rider Waite tarot card system. And then I infuse all of the magical and mystical energies and medicine of the animal allies. And it makes for some really accurate and crazy, crazy profound readings. So let's just take a look at the Judgment card. In and of itself, that's a card about introspection. It can mean a legal ruling. It definitely can mean rebirth. If you take a look at the angel that is on the card, and she's trumpeting, or he or she is trumpeting to the people rising from the dead, they still have a little bit of that icky gray about them. But the point is that they are coming back to life. And that is really representative that they are no longer confined by the griefs, the judgments, the beliefs that they can or you can't do something. Because listen, if you die and you come back to life, you ever going to doubt anything again? Are you ever going to doubt your capability to achieve anything ever again? No, you're not. You better not. And so I love this card, even though it can look a little creepy. I love this card because it is the ultimate Rosie the Riveter, I can do this card. And it's the ultimate, you don't have to deal with, and you won't have to work with beliefs that no longer serve you and that should have died off a long time ago, and those won't come back to life. And if you take a look at how the people are on both sides of the water of the coffin, you'll see it's about the divide between the conscious and the subconscious. And the whole point, the whole wish is that you bring all of that together. And so as you're moving into your Friday, what kind of outmoded belief systems, or maybe your family's stuck in a rut. You're like, oh my God, I cannot pop one more bowl of popcorn. We cannot watch Finding Nemo one more time or Mulan one more time. Even if you don't have kids and you're watching, whatever, pardon me, y'all. I've talked up a storm today, so hold on one second. Thank you for your patience. Maybe it's just time for you to shake things up a bit. Maybe it's time for you to breathe life back into some things that have been dying on the vine a little bit. Romantic relationships. It can even mean work relationships. It can mean, listen, maybe your pet has been home too much, just kind of sitting around all week long and really needs to get out there. You guys need to do some fun things together. But the point is that do it, right? You've got to do it. And when we talk about kind of coming back from the dead, the energy flow between the material world, our intellectual reasoning. Um, the the judgment card is associated with the Hebrew letter Shin, and Shin allows your consciousness to explore the farthest reaches of understanding. So when you're considering like what this card means to you, if you can find a quiet place and just sit where you can just relax, center, and let whatever information is going to come in, come in. You're going to be really, really surprised that what you might have made a snap judgment about really goes much deeper than what you might have immediately, might have immediately come to your mind. And that's cool because it's going to enrich all of your love relationships today and carrying through the weekend. So when you pull the judgment card, it also, the Kabbalists call this card the perpetual intelligence card. And that's why I say that this energy will carry you through the weekend. Once you pull this card, it's a trigger in a positive way. It's a catalyst in a really positive way to just kind of light that spark in you that will continue to have, even like in the back of your mind, you know how like a computer process continues to run in the background, even if you're like checking Facebook but you're uploading something or whatever, and it just keeps going, that's going to keep going. And so actually, I know a lot of folks that will, when they feel like they're maybe not growing as much as they want to intellectually or spiritually, they'll sleep with the judgment card in their pillowcase or right beside their bed for a while, so that it activates and it triggers that perpetual intelligence thing and just kind of primes their pump, primes their engine to get them, started back up with that again. So just know that that can be a real helpmate. Now, when you we get caught up in our daily lives, and it can be really easy to assume that really nothing has been going on inside or deeper inside. So along with the activation to what are you going to glean in the future, what are you going to learn in the future, how are you going to be more intelligent or wake up in the future, it might be a good time for you to consider just kind of take stock of what's come to you this week that you have learned. What new ways of thinking have you seen? What understandings have you had that were the farthest thing away from what you thought they were going to be at the beginning of the week? So judgment card can be a really great reflective tool as well. Now, if you draw this card, chances are very good you've made it through a dark night of the soul of some kind, and this is your time to just get back up, get on the horse, and quote unquote come back to life. It can be hard. It can. Coming up out of all those deep emotions and all that, that's where the whale comes in, that water energy. But once you burst to the surface, think about this, you guys. If you've ever been whale watching, which I have not yet had the opportunity to do, but it's on my list for the next couple of years. But I have a friend who is an amazing wildlife photographer, and she lives in Alaska. I want to say she lives in Alaska. We're Facebook friends. We took a class together. She's an amazing photographer, and some of her specialty is whales, although this woman travels all over the world. And she loves photographing, going on the whale watching tours in Massachusetts. I think she lives in Massachusetts. And the pictures that she gets of whales breaching, I understand they're just pictures, but it takes my breath away every time. Because if you've never seen a whale in person, they're the biggest things that you can possibly imagine. You think you're prepared for how large they are until you see one in the wild, and then you're not prepared. Now, I have no frame of reference for that except for, unfortunately, when I was a child and my family wasn't conscious and, drugged me to SeaWorld and whatnot, I went catatonic. When the killer whales started, my mom sat me right in the front row, knowing my love of animals, thinking she was doing the best thing. When I saw that first orca swim by, and I got a load of how big they are, and I watched them jump out of the water, I literally stopped breathing and went catatonic, and my mother had to carry me out of SeaWorld. It scared the living daylights out of me, you guys. Now, I don't know what it would do to me as an adult, but I mean, at that moment in my life, it was not a thing of beauty. In my life now, I believe that it would be a mesmerizing thing of beauty, and I watch whale videos incessantly all the time on the biggest screen that I can possibly find to have the experience. So just know that whatever is coming to you right now, whatever your realizations are that will have to do with these Friday energies of love, are very, very big and should not be ignored. They should be very carefully considered. Now, how we bring whale energy into it is this. So I talk a lot about the difference between spirit, totem, and power animals. And if you don't know what that is, there is a link to a video below where I do go into that in depth. And you can see how very different working with spirit, totem, and power animal energies can be. But whales are, I mean, listen, first of all, the songs that they sing to each other across thousands of miles, it's how they show mourning, it's how they call themselves to each other. It is amazing. And you know, we're documenting their intelligence more and more and more and more and more every year. But the other thing you have to remember is whales have been here since ancient times. They are the keepers, they are the guardians of the most ancient, in-depth knowledge. And so tapping into that, it it can be a life-altering experience. Now, as a shamanic journeyer, I've done my fair share of journeying with animals. And while I won't say I'm a warg, like, you know, the kid in um, what is, oh my God, I'm thinking Lord of the Rings. That's not what it is. It's Scott's Game of Thrones. I've seen it 50 times. You think I know Brandon Stark. Thank you. Well, I'm not a warg like he is, I don't think. I have journeyed with any number of animals where I am telling you now, I know exactly what it feels like to be that animal. I know what it feels like to be as large as a whale. I know what it feels like to look around me and see everything in the water, the colors, the temperature. And I know what it feels to have a memory, pardon me, of the most ancient times, because the vibrations of the earth echo through the waters. And they pick up, I mean, they're echolocators in whales. Of course, they've been recording wisdom since the beginning of time. Now, I wouldn't say I'm any the wiser for traveling with the whales, for journeying with the whales, but I am a lot more aware. And it really was a day that changed my life. It changed my life forever. It changed my life as a psychic medium. It changed my life as a shamanic journeyer. It changed my life. And I would suggest that it would do the same to yours. So I would encourage you that if whale has come to you as a spirit animal today, it's time to come up from whatever is putting pressure on you. It's time to depressurize and come up for air, so that you can sit in the quiet and you can have sacred space available inside of yourself to listen to the vibrations of Mother Gaia, to listen to the vibrations that are going on in the water element, in your emotions. Listen and feel the vibrations thrumming throughout your family, you know, thrumming through your friends, thrumming through whatever is important to you, because whales also, excuse me, they run in pods, very, very close-knit pods. And every one there is important to them, vitally, vitally important. And the same would go for you today with whale. Now, if whale is your totem animal and you just needed to be reminded of who you are today, sing, sing. I don't care if it's good morning, if it's, hey, do you have that report ready? You didn't clean your room. You know, you bust up in your kids and you didn't clean your room. They might laugh so hard, they'll get up right then and clean their room. And, you know, if you come into a colleague's office and you're like, where's my report? Where's my report? You got that report? You got that report? Yeah, they may haul you off to the, you know, the loony bin for a minute or two, but somebody will get a good laugh. It'll lighten the mood. And you're just a really great communicator. You are someone really to be admired and respected. And thank you for all the great communication you do in this world. So now let's say that you need to invoke whale as your power animal. Apologies, you guys. I don't know what this is going on. My throat chakra. I don't know why it's all... You know what? What's today? It's throat chakra day. I'm talking about love. There must be something I need to take a look at. See, this stuff doesn't just apply to you guys. It applies to me too. And sometimes I learn my greatest lessons when I'm reading for other people or teaching other people. So I'll get back. I'm single. And so maybe that's something I need to be taking a look at. I'll get back to you about what I found out. All right, so if you're invoking whale as your power animal, you do definitely, this is going to be a good time for you to find your true voice. And so, let's say that there's somebody that you got feelings for and you've just been so scared to tell them. Speak your truth. Even if your voice shakes, speak your truth. You've got to get it out there. What's the point of holding it in? They might smack you down. They might not be interested. Okay. But then you'll know, and the torture of wondering will be over. Maybe it's a call for you to say, I love you more. Maybe it's a call for you to use that throat chakra and that communication more. Listen, don't assume people assume you love them. Yeah, I don't care if you've been married 1,000 years or you've been in a partnership for 1,000 years. It's nice to hear it. It is a joy to hear it. And even if it's once a year or once every few years, give your partner, give your spouse a break and tell your children, tell your pet, tell your coworkers. Let me tell you guys something. You can never say I love you too much. You can never express your love for something or somebody too much. Never. Because you might turn around and look back and they're gone. So do it, and do it today. All right. So again, hearkening back to the whale being the temperance card, it's really interesting because the Vietnamese address the whale. The Arctic regions think of whale as the perfect being, and to the Vietnamese people, they refer to it as Lord. The only word that they have for whale is Lord. So there's something really divine about whales that don't just go along with the majesty of how big they are. How the hell do you lug that much tonnage up and out of the water into the air as high as they do? I mean, listen, I guess scientifically we understand how their bodies can do that, but really at the end of the day, I think aerodynamically it's probably still as much of a mystery as how a bumblebee hauls it up and out. But there's going to be something today about the sacredness, the divinity of love that's going to be important, that it experiences the rebirth of the Judgment card. So as you move into making your Friday night plans, it doesn't have to be as all serious as it might seem to be, but don't let the largesse, don't let the bigness of the importance of vocalizing love, receiving love, giving love, don't let that escape you today. And don't let it escape you that you might have had some kind of belief about love that's just it's outdated and it's not serving your purpose any longer, and it's really calling for you to transmute that belief, that judgment, metamorphosize that, bring it to the place of joy that only whales can bring it to the place of joy that a true rebirth can bring. I hope that's helpful to you on this Friday. I hope that you have a great weekend. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get all the daily readings right at the top of your feed every day. Pick up your copy of the Animal Tarot and Oracle deck so you can experience the crazy, accurate, powerful, in-depth readings that only the Animal Allies can make for you. But what's the most important thing? To stay wild.